Las Vegas Raider defensive lineman Carl Nassib becomes the first openly gay active NFL football player. What the is going on with the Buffalo Bills stadium? And Antonio Brown is officially off of probation. All coming up on today's edition of the Don Mafia Report. Yo ho ho, Don Mafia. Welcome to yet another edition of the Don Mafia Report. We have some pretty exciting stories for you here today. You read that title correctly. You know me, always gassing up your reading comprehension skills. We're going to dive into all of these stories, but before we get started, I do want to go on ahead and just give two quick announcements. Number one, I am giving away either a PS5 or an Xbox Series X on July 2nd, my 30th birthday. In order to enter, you need to be a subscriber to this YouTube channel. You need to screenshot proof of it and then send it over to my Instagram at RealDanMitchell. And voila, you now have the chance of potentially bringing home a next gen console. Number two, so many of you always ask me, Dan, how can I support this channel? Well, ladies and gentlemen, the best way to do it is simply just by smashing the ever-living out of that like button. Let's say you ever want to go the extra mile, Patreon or becoming a member of my YouTube channel is the next best thing. You can find the join button right below the subscribed button, and then you can also find the Patreon link in my description. It has a bunch of super cool benefits, so I highly recommend checking it out, and it helps me continue to grow and give you as much content as humanly possible. If not, completely fine. I just appreciate the fact that you guys tune in and watch this wannabe sportscaster on a regular basis. First story of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday we know that I was completely pumped during one of my stories saying that it was official, the Buffalo Bills are building a new stadium in Orchard Park. We were sitting there theorizing where it was going to be. Was it going to be put in the Hammer Lot? Was it going to be put across the street? But now it looks like the Erie County government has taken a giant dump on our hopes and dreams. While everyone was getting excited of the rumor that was circulating around Western New York, they ended up saying, and not so fast, there is not a deal here whatsoever. In fact, a statement was released by Erie County, and they ended up highlighting this situation by saying this. So I just want the public to understand that while the Pagulas may be preparing, as they are for the discussions and hiring counsel, we hired counsel to assist us, but there is no agreement to build a new stadium, and when there is an agreement, we will talk about it. So essentially yesterday when I ended up reporting that there was going to be a new stadium, seemed to be a lot of just smoke and mirrors, may have been premature at this point. I am going to go out and say that I feel like this is a good step in the right direction, where it seems like the Pagulas are on top of it. They've hired counsel. They're starting these negotiations. It just seemed to be a bit premature. But Don Mafia, I'm still under the impression that the rumor that we heard is the intentions of the Pagulas, and now it's just going to be full of red tape. But I'm still pretty confident by the end of the day, the Buffalo Bills and Western New York will have a new stadium to go to at the earliest by 2027. We will see how that all plays out. Next story, the entire NFL world was completely rocked when defensive end from the Las Vegas Raiders, Carl Nassib, came out of the closet via his Instagram story. Now, I'm sure that several of you ended up seeing this video on his Instagram, essentially becoming the first openly gay NFL player who is active within the league. And during this video, he had this to say: I'm a pretty private person, so I hope you guys know that I'm really not doing this for attention. I just think that representation and visibility are so important. I actually hope that one day videos like this and the whole coming out process are just not necessary. But until then, I'm going to do my best and do my part to cultivate a culture that's accepting, that's compassionate. And I'm going to start by donating $100,000 to the Trevor Project. Now, for those of you who are curious, the Trevor Project is a charity which ends up helping out people in the LGBTQ plus community deal with any type of sort of mental health issues as far as suicide thoughts, etc. Really going on ahead and preventing things such as that. So this was a giant announcement. I mean, this is the first active player ever to openly come out as gay. And honestly, I'm happy for him. I really, really am. I'm sure that that was a heavy burden to carry, not being able to be open with his teammates. And that's awesome. Honestly, I definitely applaud him. and I'm really interested to see what he's going to do this season. Now, we all know that he absolutely balled in Tampa Bay. Dude, man, was racking up 9 sacks per year, and then, per usual, he goes to play under John Gruden, and his production sort of spiraled downhill. So, I mean, we'll see what's going on with that, but despite that, Carl, congratulations, and excited to see you play. Last but not least, our good old buddy AB, Antonio Brown, is officially off of probation. Of 2020, he was sentenced to about 2 years probation for a myriad of all of the legal troubles that he had from that one summer. And it seems like it's finally been dropped, specifically when it came down into that situation where he threatened a delivery driver. Pretty sure he assaulted the guy, but regardless, that case was completely settled, and then now he is officially off of probation. The attorney had this to say once this news dropped. In further demonstration of Antonio Brown's hard work and great progress since his NFL suspension, we are very pleased to advise that his withheld adjuration is now final and he has completed his probation a full year ahead of schedule. We see nothing but blue sky for AB. Now, this is interesting, especially since he ended up signing yet another contract with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but can he refrain from throwing mattresses over hotel balconies, exposing himself to innocent women, and punching delivery drivers in the face? Only time will tell. And Don Mafia, thank you so much for tuning in to yet another edition of the Don Mafia Report. Do me a favor, leave a comment. What do you think about any and all of these stories? Always love hearing your feedback. I will see you tomorrow, and before I let you go, always remember, let's go Buffalo.